Hello there folks and welcome back to GRIF-FINds. So I'm just going to run through one of my programs at the moment which I'm using a lot on pasture, and that's my boom program. Now this boom program is a great all-round program, so it has good depth but it can also pick up those smaller targets. So for instance I could pick up a little aluminium pellet at about 6 inch, which I quite regularly do on this permission I'm on. So a little tiny gun pellet, you know how big they are, they're tiny, flattened, completely flattened. This program can pick it up at around 6 inch. So it just shows you that it can actually work on those quite small targets at quite some depth. So this uses the Park program, which out of all the programs uses the 24 kilohertz, up to the 24 kilohertz. So this can find the smaller targets, but it also uses the compacted range of the multi-frequency to get you the depth. So I'm going to go through this program. If you let me know how you get on with it, it'd be really good in the comments. If you think that I need to change it at all, a lot of these things here you can just tweak for yourself. But if you enjoy it, just let me know. So we'll go into the program first. So my discrimination is set at -3.2. That's because I don't want to hear any of the ferrite, but I still want to be able to hear some of the ground that I'm going over. So my discrimination is set at -3.2. Now if I go into the expert from there, this is a 5-tone program. And if I then click on expert again, it takes me into those tones. The first tone is set, which is your iron tones, is set at anything below -3.2 will give me an iron tone. My iron tone is 202 Hertz. However, because my iron tone, as you'll see in a few moments, is set at 0, you won't actually be able to hear those. So anything below 3.2, -3.2, I'm not going to be able to hear. So everything else, so my next tone, which is the next one down, is up to 8. And that again is at 202 Hertz. So that again is the iron tone, but that goes up to 8. Okay, third tone, that is from 9 all the way up to 50, is on the 541 Hertz. The fourth tone is up to 79, and that's on the 525 Hertz. And the last tone is the top tone, and that is the maximum tone you can put on this box of the 993 Hertz. Okay. If you go now down to bottle caps, I've taken off the bottle caps. The Park normally has bottle caps set at 5, but I don't want to. I want to be able to hear everything, so my bottle caps are on. My notch, because I get a lot of coke in my fields, my notch is set to 23 to 27, just to take away that coke that I get in my fields. And believe me, I get a lot of it. Okay. Next, silencer is set at 2. I like a little bit of silencer on there just to take away a few of those blips. But again, this is all preference. This is all personal preference. You might want to just reduce that silencer down to 0. Okay, and then we're back to the tones. And then if I go down here, next, my sensitivity is set to 99. I find that in the fields I'm on, I can just about cope with that sensitivity. Frequency shift is whatever it chooses. Iron volume, like I said, is set at 0. Now this is the important one, reactivity. Now I tried this program on 2, 2.5, 1, and I find it very unstable. The stablest program I found was 3, so you still get the depth, but you also get the stability. So try it on 3, see how you get on. If you go any lower, you might find it chirps a bit more. And then finally, audio response at 4. Now I have that set at a mid position because I actually want to be able to hear when it's a shallow or a deep target. There are some places where if I get a really good signal but it's quite shallow, being pasture, I won't dig it because I know that those targets are probably going to be aluminium. Okay, and then we're back to discrimination. Now the only other thing to look at is in the options, and if I go now down to my settings here, in my profile are set to the big numbers. Now I have that set to big numbers mainly because I want to show you, but you could put this to the XY screen, that works just as well. And then if I then go also into the audio here, I've got my audio set at PWM tones because I like the PWM tones. You might prefer, I think the part comes actually with square tones, but I've changed it to PWM because I just prefer the PWM tones. I think you get a lot more information out of it. So I'm just going to take you now into the garden and show you some different tone breaks and what the tones sound like in the garden. If you want to change those tone breaks and the frequencies they run at, you're welcome to do that. But this is what I'm currently running, and I'll show you those now. Right, so we've got the iron, which is this. Okay, then you've got your aluminium, which is this. That's up to 50, so that contains all your aluminium. But it could also contain, if you search for deep signals, that might also be a half, cut half, or a cut quarter. Next is a button, which is a mid-tone. That's in the 50s, 60s. So that goes from your 50 to up to your 79 is that tone. And then your full tone, your highest tone is this one. You're not going to miss that. And that's it. They are your tones for my boom program. Don't forget, if you upload it and you try it and you like it, leave a comment. I'll be interested to see.
Looks like you've got to the end of the video. Click here to subscribe and click here to watch another video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!